Welcome to Diva Dialogue with Coach Deb. We talk about anything we want to, and today's going to be really fun because we have a guest in the studio. That's next, and I'm Coach Deb. Hey everybody, hope you're doing very well today. It's a little overcast, but you know what? It's November, the end of November, and there's still no snow, so I'm up for that. In the studio, I have my friend Tammy in here with me today. Would you like to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you?
Oh, sure. My name is Tammy Claramunt. I grew up in Frankenmuth, but I'm working in Bay City, lovely Bay City. I'm a financial advisor with Edward Jones.
And how long have you been doing that?
I've been with Edward Jones for 2 years, but only been a financial advisor for about 6 months.
And how are you liking it?
I like it a lot.
Good.
I feel like I'm using all of my life's experiences to impact somebody else's life.
Oh, that's very good. So you must be liking it a lot then.
I am.
When you feel like you found a purpose, it really is good, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yes.
So, what's your favorite part of that job?
Oh boy, I guess getting to share in somebody else's life when someone else will tell you the details, like the most personal details of their lives, especially their finances, which is very personal to people. Sometimes you get to share in really great stories or really great opportunities where they get to travel or spend their money to send a child to college, a grandchild, whatever. But then you also are part of the bad times too. So just getting to hold somebody's hand and walk them through that stage of life, just getting to share in whatever it is, that's wonderful.
Very good. I like that. So you are very empathetic, it sounds like.
I am.
And you have to be a good listener.
Yeah, I try. But I don't speak from, a place of expertise, but experience,
Right.
I can't sit here and say I'm an expert on anything except for what's happened in my own life. And then the short stories that I've shared with other people in their lives. Which
is actually better. I would rather have somebody like that than somebody that doesn't understand.
Right.
So,
it's like taking parenting advice from a nun.
Oh, and those nuns did not have good parenting advice.
No. My mother gave birth in a Catholic hospital. The nurses were telling them not to worry. The pain wasn't bad.
Oh.
Yeah, they'd never been through it before. I'm pretty sure she swore a couple of times.
Oh, yeah. And the nuns are probably plugging their ears. And I was adopted through a Catholic adoption agency.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's funny. We have a lot of things in common.
Yes, we do.
And before did you go to Catholic school and stuff?
I was baptized Catholic, but no, I went to a Lutheran school, but my mom was Catholic. So every night at the dinner table, my dad was Lutheran, my mom was Catholic, and we would have theological debates every day.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
It was very fun, actually.
So what religion did you choose?
Lutheran.
Very interesting.
Yep.
Huh.
Yeah, but it was always a comedy event around the dinner table.
I love those kind of things, though. I remember we ate dinner together, at least my immediate family, and my mom and her sisters owned a catering company, so a lot of times it was all of us.
Oh, okay.
So there were some good conversations.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I could say the same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when you were raising your children, did you have dinner on every night?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's important, isn't it?
My favorite times were when the kids were in high school together because they were a freshman and a senior.
Oh, fun.
And most people dread those teenage years. But man, I look forward to dinner time because they were actually still had a couple of the teachers that I did in high school.
Oh, my gosh.
So they'd come home from school and say, Mr. Weston gave us in history today. And I would just, it was like a trip down memory lane for me.
Yes.
So I loved it. I soaked it up.
I loved when my kids were, mine are 6 years apart.
Okay.
And my sister and I were, they're 7, and anyway, I get that always confused, 6, 9, 8, 2. I think they're 6. So anyway, they were never in the same school together except for grade school because they didn't have junior high yet.
Oh, okay.
That was the only time. And 1 year. And as they got older, though, the conversations that they had were so funny.
Oh, yes.
They were hilarious.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Dating age, too,
Yes.
and who liked who, and did you see that girl today and what she wore? And I loved it.
I remember 1 year Mike came home. That's my youngest one. I think he was in maybe 4th grade. third or fourth. And he came home and he said to me, he was like swooning, and it was like the first or second day of school. And I said, what's going on with you? And he goes, I met a girl, Mom, and she's beautiful. And I said, she is. And he told me her name. I think it was like Tiffany or something like that. And so I volunteered for Halloween that year.
Okay.
And I asked him to show me which one she was, and she was.
Oh.
Anyway, so he always had good days.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yes, and then that kind of fizzled out. I don't know why, but it's funny. So we were talking before the show, and I just think this is hilarious. If anybody has partially curly hair, you can relate to that. Tell us that one story about when you got your hair cut short.
Oh, goodness. Well, as you can relate, we both have just partially curly hair, so it's either sometimes it's completely flat in really odd areas, and then other times it's wavy, and other times it's super curly. So you're trying to help yourself decide what identity are you going to go with that day. Well, when I was in 8th grade, I'd always had long hair, and I decided to cut it for some reason, thinking the curls would just spring to life.
Right.
And I'd have this beautiful...
And with most curly hair, that would be the case.
That would be the case, but in my situation, I woke up looking like my grandma's poodle. And I cried for an hour. I couldn't go to school. Well, of course, my mother, I think she was smoking a cigarette and having a cup of coffee, putting hot rollers in my hair, telling me it was going to be okay. And I'm like, no, it's not. My life is over.
I laugh so hard because I can relate so much. It's so you're going to love this story. It was pictures, and my mother was in the hospital, and it was pictures day, and I went to Catholic school, so we had to wear beanies. They were almost like yarmulkes that we had to wear. And my grandma was staying there, and she wanted to curl my hair, and I kept telling her, no, my hair's not like my other cousin's, Grandma.
Yeah.
Yes, we have to. So she put these 2 rolls of spoolies right around and pulled the top tight.
Oh, dear.
And these 2 rolls of spoolies, and then she made it go up like higher in the back. I don't know what she was thinking. I don't know what she was thinking. So, in the morning, I got up and took him out, and it was like, I looked like Bozo the Clown. I'm not kidding. It was like this. And I'm crying, and she's wetting it, trying to get it to go down. She put the beanie on my head and bobby pinned it, and I'm eating breakfast, and I can feel it going up.
Oh, yes.
Oh, God, it was horrible. My pictures there, I have a look like this. It's so funny.
Oh, gosh, I've got some horrific school pictures, too, where my mom did the sponge rollers. And my hair does hold curl.
Yes.
I don't need hairspray.
Right.
So she put the sponge rollers in overnight, and they were just sucked right to my head. And no matter how hard she combed them out the next morning, it just kept sucking right back up to my head, and then I had to go take that dreaded school photo. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God, that's so funny.
And it's in some neighborhood permanently for the rest of my life. You can't go back and erase that stuff.
And people remember.
Oh, they do. Unfortunately.
I once wrote a speech for Toastmasters, and I won all kinds of awards called Lessons I've Learned from My Hair.
Oh, goodness. That's so funny.
And it was all about you can't change people.
Yeah.
Like my hair, you can't change it. It is what it is.
Yep.
And it is still to this day in the morning I get up and look at it and say, okay, what are you going to do today? Yep.
Yeah. How much energy do I want to put into it? And then I'll put a ton of energy into it, and then I'll drive half an hour to work and get there and go, what the heck just happened?
It's just like it was.
I did not leave the house looking like this. And I used hairspray, and it's completely different. And God forbid that if there's any humidity, I got to plan this stuff out. I got to plan out humidity, rain, snow. How many other people have to?
And God forbid you have to wear a hat.
I know. God. That would be the end of it. Then it'd be completely flat on top. You'd be able to see right through to my scalp, and then the bottom ends would look like my dog. Yeah, that's our hair.
Oh, God, it's so sad, isn't it? Finally, somebody that understands. Oh, my God, that is so funny.
And I look at people with straight hair, and I'm like, oh. No. Your life is so simple.
And they're complaining.
I know.
Well, if only I had some body.
I know, yeah. You got a whole
You
life of
say
your
that
own not
now.
sitting on top of your head, yeah. It's beyond your control.
Oh my God, that is so funny. If you can relate to that, you should send me some kind of message on Facebook, or else get in the chat room and tell me that you have problems with your hair too. And the one flat spot right here, and you have that as
yes,
well.
I have a random spot that's completely straight in the back.
Right
One
here is
section.
mine.
Yeah.
And my bangs.
Yeah.
So, like, coming and going, it's straight.
Yep.
It does not hold curl.
No. Nope. Same in the back. I could spray that stuff as long as the day is, and it's still straight.
Oh, my God, that's so funny. What nationality are you?
I'm like half Spanish, half German.
And I'm Italian and Norwegian.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
It did an ethnicity bounce there.
I know. That's a good way of describing it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh.
We'll always remember this day.
Yeah.
When I found a root
hair
soul,
twin.
a root sister.
There you go.
Oh, that's so funny. So, okay, now all kidding aside, although I'm going to be laughing about this all day, so, do you have stuff that you want to share with us today?
I did, yes.
Excellent.
Yep. So obviously I'm kind of speaking to women because I can relate, but I just wanted to share a couple of things. Like, we all set personal goals, whether it's, your health, your fitness, your career, but people don't often take the time to set a financial goal. So we allow money to maybe control our lives rather than us controlling it.
Boy, that's the truth.
Yeah, it is. And most people don't really take the time to sit down and carve it out. You write a vision statement or create a vision board for something you want to do in your life, but it hardly ever involves money. And it's important to sit down and do that. Even if you need somebody to help you do that, you got to sit down and develop long-term goals. Like, do you want to acquire a new house in 5 years? You want to send your kids to college? Whether it's a dream vacation, a car, or retirement. We'll get back to retirement, but any long-term goal, you need to sit down and put it on paper. And then the more you communicate that goal, if you have a spouse or, if you have anybody in your life that can be a support figure for you, the more you share your goal, the more obvious it is, the more obvious it will be. All of your actions will support that goal. So your spending, your saving, all of those habits will kind of fall into place the more vocal you are about it. The other thing is when people fail to set financial goals, they have other problems in other areas of their lives, like relationships. You can get health problems from having financial problems.
That's right, because when you worry, it manifests differently. That's right.
Yes, it does. It can create stress and anxiety at your job and your relationships, so you really have to do that. And a lot of people develop, which I did it too, the whole mindset that, I'll never have enough or it's never going to be enough, But it's just like, obviously I can relate going back to my 20s, I never had to worry about having a mammogram. You don't ever think about that until your doctor says, guess what, you got to have this every year. Now it just becomes second nature. You force yourself to go do that. And yeah, it's scary once you're considering the appointment or getting through that whole situation. But once you know all of the facts, then you know. And the same thing is similar with your financial goals. You have to sit down, know the facts, and address it. The problem is not going to go away. And then from there, you get direction. So beyond setting your goals, you need to develop a plan. And it's always good to sit down with somebody. Like, when you are trying to identify a health plan, you want to lose weight, but you don't know exactly how you're going to do that. How are you going to get from point A to point B? Well, we'll easily call a health fitness coach or join a Facebook page or go to the gym and seek the support of a trainer or somebody, we'll take a class. Same thing with your financial goals. You need to reach out to somebody for help. Help me sit down, go through what my income is, what my expenses are, what is my long-term goal, and how am I going to get there? And a lot of companies, including myself, will do that for you for free. But other people, you can, obviously get help with maybe a CPA or an accountant who will also help you get through that whole process. But you need a plan. You need to start somewhere, identify what your long-term goal is and how to get there. Another thing that I found helpful is, evaluating. Can you save? Because that's really the first the first step. You know, evaluating what your income is.